All right, so after I've offset the curb line and got the gutter pan in here, I need to clean up this gutter pan a little bit. I noticed that up in here I've got a lot of triangles. I got to fix this here. The first thing I'm going to do is fix these gutter lines. And if I pick that gutter line, you can see that it's got a lot of little tessellation segments. So I'm going to pick both of those curb lines, or the gutter pan lines, and I'm going to use the project cleanup. On the project cleanup, I'm going to select current selection only. And then down here where it says filter line vertices, you can play with this filtering radius. Now, 5/10 may be too much, 1/10 may be too little. We'll do something in the middle and say 0.25. And when I click apply, you can see that it removes 144 vertices. If I close, you can see that it doesn't quite give me the curve exactly the way I want it. So what I'm going to do is undo that just by Control Z. And I'm going to hold my Control key down and I'm going to pick both of these gutter lines. Go to Project Cleanup again. And let's just go ahead and make this a 10th. I should have left it at 10th, but I wanted to see what would happen if I did 0.25. When I click Apply, you can see I don't get as bad of a tessellation of the curve. So it cleans it up a little better. Now if I pick the surface, right click and rebuild it, now you can see that it doesn't give me as many of those lines. So that's a little bit better for me. I still have this flag. Now I have a choice here that I can try to edit this curb line, or this line here. The problem with that is that this line string, each one of these vertices has an elevation on it. So if I put an elevation point here, the line is going to slope to this point. It's going to bump up and then bump up or down depending on how that transitions. So what I'm going to do instead, I really don't need this contour line because I've got an elevation here and I've got good elevation around my gutter pan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this contour line and I'm just going to delete this entire segment here. I'll leave this one. That's probably fine, but I'll get rid of this one. I should still get a triangle from here to here, and that'll be good for what I need. So I'm going to use the CAD, delete segment, pick that segment, that removes that. Now I can take this, right click and rebuild. And now you can see that it still gives me triangulation into the surface, but I don't have that flag anymore. Okay, so now I'm just going to look around and see, oh, I got another flag down here. So again, this is where that line comes across from there. So because this is a straight segment, what I could do in this case is right click, edit, and add a vertical point, a vertical PVI. So my distance, so I'm going to use an elevation, and my distance along, you can see it's got a little glyph there. I'm going to right click, I'm going to use at crossing line, and I'm going to pick that contour line. So it picks up the distance along this line, and then the elevation is going to be that 21. So I'm going to pick that, and that's going to be that line string. And if I hit cancel, you'll see that it is 21. So it did assign that 21. It's kind of hard to see, it's in there. But it did pick up that elevation. So now when I come in here and I right click and rebuild, that flag will go away. I still have this one over here, kind of the same thing. I could probably just come in here, and I don't want to delete the entire contour line. So what I might do is just pick this contour, and it is coming in. It's probably really close. If we hover over it, it'll tell us. So it's like 0.09, so it's about a 10th different. And it could be just because this may be a spill gutter and I didn't assign it right. So maybe it's just flat. But to clean it up, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick this, I'm going to right click and break it. And I'm just going to break it just somewhere back in here. And then I'm going to delete that little segment. Again, I'm not too picky. I'm not doing modeling for this right now. So I just want to get rid of all the flags, but want a good surface. Okay, so I'm going to close this. I'm going to pick this, I'm gonna right click, rebuild, and that flag will go away. If we look at that in 3D, you can see that it's not really making much of a difference. There's a little bit of it's like a little dip there, but not too concerned about that. Because looks like, yeah, I got a 2/10. Looks like, again, just holding the grades there, it's probably, again, if I was modeling this, I would worry about that. But for this takeoff, I'm not gonna worry about it. It's not gonna make a big difference. So I'm not gonna try to figure out why. Again, the surveyor in me wants to figure it out, but for this case, I don't have to worry about that. So really, just trying to get my surface here. Again, same thing. These are straight segments, so they're easy to edit. I might come in here, edit this, and do the same thing. Put that VPI by right-clicking, going crossing line, and then the elevation is going to be 22, which is the contour. We'll save that one. That one's already there. Oops. So let me close that. Let's come over here and actually pick this line. Right-click, edit. And again, I'm going to do a crossing line, crossing the contour line where it crosses. And then I'll pick this for the elevation, 22. Close this. Now if I take my surface, rebuild it, those go away, and it looks much better. I have no more flags. All right. So now it's probably a good time to save. And what I'll do next is I'll focus on this area in here that's got a little bit more detail. And then we should be ready to start throwing in our site improvements for our building pads, concrete, asphalt, all that type of stuff. So we're getting close to cleaning up this data. Again, you may not go through this level of detail, but the purpose of going through this is I want to give you some practice and show you this tool and show you how some of these tools work.